Ipswich Town retain list announced today. No major surprises, 10 players released, 7 senior players amongst them. Jonas Knudsen, a shame really that it ended the way it did. The writing's been on the wall for his departure from January onwards. I think it's become clear that he wanted to leave from last summer onwards, but can't be forgotten that he's been a good servant for the club, stepped into big shoes from Tyrone Mings, scored 2 goals against Norwich City, wore his heart on his sleeve, but consistency levels dropped a little bit in the last season, and unfortunately his time will probably be remembered for this last season. Dean Gerken, Bosman free transfer from Bristol City after they were relegated. I don't think he's quite got the credit that he's deserved during his time at Ipswich Town. He was a good starting goalkeeper when he first arrived. He's been a very able deputy to Bartosz Białkowski. Just like Knudsen, unfortunately, his time will be probably remembered from this last season, in which both him and Białkowski made mistakes when they were in the team. A shame to see him go. Question marks as to whether they would have kept him on. Just in case Bart is sold, I think he might be. But he's gone, and Ipswich are looking at other goalkeeper options. Jordan Spence, another right back who's come and gone at Ipswich Town, a position that they've not really been able to nail down for quite some time now. Do we go back as far as David Wright? Probably. Didn't ever really work out for him, did it, Jordan? Hasn't played since that FA Cup defeat at Accrington in January. Not too much more to be said about that one. Grant Ward arrives from Tottenham, steps off the bench at half-time, scores a hat-trick on debut against Barnsley. Hasn't really sort of kicked on or lived up to that hype since then. He's been very versatile, he's worked hard, but not quite found the level that we were hoping for, and unfortunately does his ACL on Boxing Day against QPR, and it left Ipswich in a really difficult position. They'll keep him on, they'll let him train, and much like Luke Varney a few years ago, that if he can prove his fitness, I wouldn't rule him out signing a contract perhaps further down the line. James Collins, he was the one that I think people wondered whether there was something that could be done pay as you play. The veteran Welsh international, former Premier League player, looked really good when he played, but he only played 6 times. Ipswich have had too many injury-prone players in recent years. They couldn't really take another risk on him. Talking of injury-prone players, Tom Adeyemi, 2 years at Ipswich Town. He only managed to get on the pitch 5 times. Simon Dawkins as well arrived in January on a free transfer. He only got 2 substitute appearances, so no great surprise that those 2 are on their way. So where does that leave us? 6 loan players have already departed, a couple of youngsters on that retain list that have been released today as well. It reduces Ipswich Town's squad from a very bloated 49 professionals down to 34. Of that 34, you would probably say 20, 21, 22 are classed as senior players with any kind of senior football of note. So it gives Paul Lambert a little bit of latitude to go and add to his squad. I don't think we'll see the wholesale changes of last summer. Maybe 3, 4, 5 players max to come in and get Ipswich Town ready for League One football.